All right, so today we're going to go after the little truck with some 3M rubbing compound and basically just see if we can knock some of this dull oxidation that's been on it probably for the better part of 30 years. So nothing super complex, a little handy orbital buffer here with the pad. I'm going to try to keep moving on the paint because with it being that old, the clear is probably thin and we don't want to cut a hole in the clear and get down to the paint base coat. So just a little shine in here just to see what happens. Nothing super fancy expected, but we'll see how it turns out. So before we get started on the truck, just going to tape some of the edges, some of the black trim pieces around the mirrors the best we can, the rain guards, just to keep that compound off your plastic. Sometimes it's somewhat of a pain to get off once you get that compound on there. And also the compound is a very fine grit, right? So we don't want to cut into any of our plastics if we don't have to. Like to use just some 3M blue painter's tape and we'll get going. All right, so whenever applying the compound, just kind of a circular motion, I'll take it and I'll kind of dab it out over the area to where I want to work, just to spread it out evenly. That way you don't get globbed up in one spot. Always with this stuff, you want to kind of pick an area, maybe a square foot or more, just to kind of work and let it kind of glaze over, and then take the terry cloth towel and rub that top layer of the compound off, and that kind of puts the final polish and shine on everything for you there. And like I mentioned earlier, with a 30-year-old paint, this is a very low speed buffer. It's orbital, it's not high speed. I'm not trying to put a show car finish on a 30-year-old truck, just trying to bring some of the original shine back to it. So with that, keep it moving. Don't stay in one spot, just keep moving up, down, side to side. Work your little 1 foot square foot area, let it glaze, and then wipe it down with a terry cloth. Quick update just to show you where we're at. Starting to get some nice shine back to the little paint. This was the spot earlier where I was showing you was kind of transitional between where I had buffed at that point and not. You can see now that pillar, it's got a lot more shine to it. There are some deep grooves in there. I'm not going to go in and try to cut those out. Like I said, just trying to put a little shine on the truck. Unfortunately, the rest here, the orbital is too large, so I will have to get in here with a small pad and do that tediously by hand. All right, so like I said, this top portion of the A pillar and the top of the door there, just too small to get that orbital in there. So I'm gonna work it with just a hand pad here. Nifty diffy little Velcro on the back, kind of helps you out hold that thing. So this will be a lot easier for me to get in there and kind of get between that rain track up top and in between the rain guard there, which I've got taped up. So even when you're working the small microfiber pad here, you want to try to keep circular motions as much as you can. Back and forth, straight even strokes like you're painting a wall, not really what you're after here. So it does take quite a bit of elbow circle motions here. to do this, just do it the best you can. Just kind of keeping small circles as best as I can, still keeping the pad moving. There again, you don't want to just streak back and forth. Try to keep, circular motion, clockwise, counterclockwise. Just give it a second there and get in here and work your compound off. It's kind of tough around these mirrors here. Producing a nice shine though, so it's worth the while. Alright, so I got bumper taped up, headlights taped up, some of the areas I don't really want to hit with the orbital. I got these windshield wiper stops taped up. I did not tape the window because I don't even want to attempt getting close to it with the orbital buffer there. So I'm going to go in and just use the hand pad to kind of get up close to the window. The truck does have a little bit of rust right here. It seems pretty common on these Acties around the window, so I also don't want to get into that with the orbital buffer as well. Emblem I'm not worried about. It'll polish some if I hit it, no issues there. And like I said, just kind of want to stay away from some of the stuff that I need to do by hand with the pad versus using the buffer. Alright, so I've reached about the end of where I want to go with the random orbital buffer there. I paid close attention to kind of stay off the decal. I don't want to tear that up any more than it is. I got a little closer than I thought I could actually on the window with the orbital buffer, and it took a lot of the rust streaks that were coming down the paint off, which, like I said, the rust is still there, but it still took up a lot of the staining there, so it came out a lot better than I expected. So I've got pretty much the front portion done with the random orbital that I've used, and from here I'm gonna have to go in with the pad, get closer to the window, get around some of the window wiper stops, see if I can get inside the H emblem. Underneath the headlights I was unable to reach with the orbital, and then I'm gonna make my way around the track of the window there. Alright, so we are done polishing the cab portion of the truck. Turned out extremely well. Really surprised actually. We got this much shine out of the old paint. Not bad at all. We'll get those headlights taken care of in the next video. But yeah, there you have it. All right, polishing complete on our 91 Acty. Pretty excited about the results. It's a lot shinier than when I picked it up at port just 2 weeks ago. I've got some great things planned for this little truck. I've got a OEM cluster with a factory tack integrated. I plan on installing, kind of doing a how-to DIY on that, especially the wiring. I know it's been asked about a lot from several of the groups. I'd like to show everybody how to do that. I'm going to do a simple video probably on polishing up these plastic headlights. Not a big deal. Just going to show everybody how easy that is to do. Other things coming, literally, on their way from Japan. So stay tuned, subscribe, and if you like what you see, let me know. Thanks, guys.